Well, good evening, folks. How you doing? Got a few people in here tonight. Thank you all for coming. Mama Z's Texas Kitchen, the White Picket Fence, Bill on the Rock Homestead, Duncan 1900 Homestead. Hi, Brenda. How are you doing? I think you were the first one in here. Geeky Gardens, Rhonda Holt. Hello. Fishes and Loves Life, Geeky Gardens, How to Garden. I know there's more than that in here. Let me see if I can. All Ben's Over Acres. Good evening. I think we might even have some people kind of hiding in here. Ginger Ninja is in the house. So if Wide Front Family Farm, hello, how are you? Angel Cooper. If I missed your name, I apologize. It's great to have you all here. Libbers, Libberz, hello, how are you doing today? So, anyway, well, we'll let a few more people get in here. In case any of you were wondering, the reason that I'm starting this at 9:15 rather than 9 o'clock, which is our normal regular starting time, is that's the time when I switch over the stuff for Sherry for her feeding time, I guess is what you might say. If you noticed on the thumbnail tonight, that's it's kind of a representation of what's called a PICC line. And I don't know all the details about it, but it's like a tube that goes into the vein, like a catheter almost, I think, that not only can you put substances in, but you can also draw blood out. I'm not the drawing out blood. That's nothing I do. Grammy Karen, how are you doing tonight? Linda Jacobs, MB Heritage Farms. So anyway, no, I don't draw anything out, but what I do is I get to feed her. Sherry has been living off a liquid diet for what 6 weeks? About 6 weeks, 7 weeks. This is her steak dinners and pork chops and eggs and all that stuff that we like to get. It's a 2,000 milliliter bag of nutrition, and has to be kept refrigerated. I get like a week's worth of this stuff at a time, and hopefully, with a little bit of luck, she'll only have about one more week, a little over a week more to go on this. So, but what you do with that bag is you take the tubing, and this screws onto that little PICC line. Of course, you have to clean the connections. You have to do all that. This runs through the intravenous pump. You have to prime the lines, and it's just like getting the well going. You got to prime it up and get it going. Andy's Tennessee Life and Homestead. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're feeling better. It's not all 100% in that bag. Right before I start giving that to her, I have these 2 little bottles. I don't know what's in all this, but I think this is extra vitamins, and I mean, it just says vial 1, vial 2. Lettering so small you got to have a magnifying glass to read it. But So I get a clean syringe, and I get to pull all the liquid substance out of this and put it into the bag. Then I have to mix it all up. And the bag, the way that they set this up for her, yes, it's TPN, Ben's over acres. TPN is exactly what it is. What was I had? I lost track here. Oh, the bag has 3 ports on the bottom of it. I'll just maybe educate you, tell you how much I don't know. But there's 3 ports coming out the bottom of it. This one with the long tube. This is the one that they fill the bag with. So that's how they fill the bag. This one over here, which has a little end on, this is where I add the vitamins. So a needle goes into here. And then this is, I don't know what they call it, but this is where the tube goes in that comes out and goes through the pump. And I'm sure you've all been in the hospital before and seen these pumps hanging up on the stands where these bags are hanging up like this. And obviously they program it to put so much in at, whatever the flow rate is necessary. Fortunately, they had that all set up for me, so I don't have to mess with that. I can't overfeed her. I just follow along. She has that attached to her for 18 hours a day currently. Now, a couple of weeks ago, it was 24 hours a day. But she's down to 18 hours a day. And she went into the hospital today and had another CAT scan. And that the doctor called, 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock tonight. The doctor called us here at the house and said, great news, she can start drinking. She can actually start drinking water. Now. Clear liquids. Well, yeah, clear liquids. Clear liquids. Well, she also said, though, you could have some protein shake. Mm-hmm. That's anything but clear. So I know she has jumped in online from time to time if she's feeling better. She's wearing out her phone over there. If it had numbers on the front, they'd probably all be worn off. But, her patience hasn't gotten any better, I can tell you that. But let's see who else is in here. Petaway Family Homestead, City Girl Country Heart, Angel Cooper. Yes, she is making good progress. Mr. Darrell, tell Mrs. Scher she needs some Skittles, Starbursts, and Cheese Puffs.
Sounds like an Andy comment.
That is an Andy comment. She's got your number, Andy. Thorhaven Farm, thanks for stopping in. So anyway, she is, yes, Allison, thank you for stopping in. Garden State Gardener. Down Under Farm and Forge. Hello, hello. So anyway, she's, it's the best news that we've had. We tried starting on the clear liquids last week, and after 2 days, she was still having pain. So the doctor says, shut it off, just stop. And she kind of rested all weekend and went in and got another CAT scan today. And if you can tell, she has joined the chat. So Nana's Menagerie. That's Sherry. That's my beautiful wife. Oh, by the way, you can say happy birthday to her. She just had a birthday. She turned 29. She turned 29. 21. I'm sorry. Wow. Get myself in trouble here. Mm-hmm. But no, yesterday was her birthday. So if you want, just say happy birthday. I'm sure. And I want to thank those of you. I don't even know who all, But I know that there has been some folks that have passed cards around and sent them. And I want to thank you very much. I mean, it means the world to us to know that there's some really great people out there that we've met. And, yeah, it just means a lot. So, Jujubi, thank you for stopping in. So anyway, what I kind of have done, don't really have any plans here for this, but I did want to maybe show some of you some of the stuff that she has been going through and is tackling. So let me pull the browser up here. Okay, so this is what Sherry has in her arm. It's called a PICC line, so it's a peripherally, well, I can't talk, inserted central catheter called a PICC line. And it goes through a vein in your arm and dumps out much closer to the heart, I guess. So it's a long tube. Apparently, this can be located in different areas. When Sherry had this inserted, she was so dehydrated that they couldn't do it the first day. They tried one arm, they tried the other arm, they tried putting it in her neck, and none of it worked. And she was just bruised up terribly. But after she had been on some sort of fluids from an intravenous line, then the next day they were able to put the PICC line in. So that's what's been in ever since. That's what I attached the food to. And again, I can't. All I can share with you is what's going on, what has happened here. So this is what she has. It's in her right arm, and that's where she gets fed. That when the nurse comes and changes the dressing around it and takes her blood, she takes her blood through the same line. So I'm guessing that if I wasn't pumping stuff in, which I would, it would just be bleeding out. I don't know. Every time that I change things, I go through a syringe of saline. So this is what they give me for like a week. And you attach that to the end of the PICC line. Let's see if I can pull out a better image here. Sort of, maybe. This is a double one, but it looks kind of like this. And it just attaches here. It actually screws on. It screws on to the tube there, if you would. This one in this picture that is on the screen is this is a double. She does not have a double. She has a single. So that's kind of the PICC line. Let's go back. I saw somebody had this up. This is her diet. It's called a TPN. Total, and again, they make the words very difficult for most of us to say, but parenteral nutrition. But it's a method of feeding an individual that that bypasses the stomach and the bowels and so on and so forth. So she gets all of her nutrition through her veins. I've had some people that I've talked with says, "Well, boy, I bet she loses weight doing that." And the fact of the matter is, that's not what happens. The goods in this bag must be so good that she's actually put on weight. Ben's Over Acres, yes, her daughter did go home last week. So it's just me. It's just me. Mary Beth Smith had a PICC line for his dialysis. So that's this is the food process. Of course, I showed you the bag that she has. And just some more general intravenous injection things that go on. Now, this is the things that she still has to go through. She literally has to learn how to walk again. When you're confined to a bed for so long, like she was, and even now, she's just now starting to move around, and she's not able to walk across the room without a walker. It just, the muscles just deteriorate pretty fast. And so she has physical therapy a couple times a week, and she has occupational therapy a couple times a week. And so they're giving her a list of exercises. And for the most part, she does. She basically sits and reclines and sits up and reclines all day. She's not able to go up and down steps on her own at this point. All this will come back in time. She just has to relearn it, has to work on it a little bit at a time. Bill and the Rock Homestead, it's extraordinary that the muscles just go away. And on top of that, again, because of the diet she's on here, oh, B Lady, how you doing? Good to see you. Christy Betts, hello. Where was I? Oh, the muscle deterioration. One of the other side effects of the TPN is it's like her legs are retaining water. They're very swollen. So we do some compression stockings on and off. And I think it's got her temperature all screwed up. She's always cold. It can be 90 degrees in here and she's freezing. So I just know that's all going to get better. But at this point, it's a long process just to go through. Her daughter did visit, was up here, came up while she was still in the hospital, and then stayed, was she here 3 weeks? 2 weeks? 2.5 weeks she was here. And of course, that was a wonderful surprise for Sherry, because Sherry was in the hospital, and I didn't tell her that Kara was coming. Just brought her in one morning into the hospital, and makes my heart feel good when can surprise her to the point where she's got tears in her eyes. So that's yeah. Homestead Rewind. Physical therapy can be brutal, but it's so worth it. So she's cold because of the fluids. That could be. That could be, Rhonda. I really don't know. Allie Oakley, how are you doing? So, Sherry is in the room here, so I have to be very careful what I say. I'm sure I'll get hit in the back of the head with a shoe or something. But, so, Nana's Menagerie, for those of you that maybe don't know, Nana's Menagerie is Sherry. She's on her phone over here. She can't type as fast on the phone as she can on the computer. That's a saving grace. So, if anybody has any questions, just, if you would, put them in all caps, easy for me to spot. Again, I want to thank everybody that has sent cards. They mean a lot. It really means a lot that that people are out there caring and thinking about her. So, trying to see who all's maybe in here that I've missed. She can use her reaching stick to slap him. Darren, don't give her any ideas. Are you keeping shoes away from Sherry? Well, she has a problem right now with shoes. Her feet are so swollen she can't get her feet into a shoe. No. I've kept mine away from her. She might be able to get her foot in mine, but no, she's got, what are those things? Crocs. She's got a set of Crocs that she can just barely squeeze her feet in. So wanted to come on tonight, just give everybody an update. Like I said, the doctor called us here at the house tonight at 6 o'clock. Number one, kudos to the doctor for being that involved. That it's not exactly a home visit, but it's the next best thing. That, I mean, I don't know. Was this a surgery day for her? Mondays? Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was in surgery all day, and then when she got out of surgery, she checked the, and maybe she did this to other people too. I don't know. I can't say, but we feel blessed that she cares enough to grab the CAT scan and examine it closely, and to call us and let us know. So well, I don't even want to talk about viruses, B-Lady. That's crazy. The hospital still requires you to wear a mask in the hospital, in public areas of the hospital. Like when Sherry was in her room, I could go in and I could take the mask off in her room. But didn't have to, but any of the public areas in there, and like today, going in, taking her in to have the CAT scan done, yeah, they greet you at the door with this mask, and they go, have you been around anybody that's had COVID? Not that I know of. I don't know that anybody walks around and has this big sign on their back says, I have COVID, come here. But crazy. So, B-Lady, are you in New York or are you in Florida? So, for those of you that maybe don't know, our email is twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. You can always drop a line there, because the air don't circulate. I thought that's why they had air handlers. But yeah, now there's a new version in addition to the Delta. But you know, that's always going to be the case. This whole thing is just different. It's a different variant of the flu. It's all this. And it just keeps mutating, and then you get people that want to put it in the lab and see if they can make it stronger and more toxic and throw our government's money at it. Those people should be put in jail, but that's my thought. I didn't say anybody's name, so use your own imagination. Allison, I'm going to look at one of those tomorrow. We saw that, of all places, Harbor Freight has those. So I wanted to go look and see if it was a decent quality piece of hardware. So, at this point, the walker that she has just the two wheels on front, and then I stuffed 2 tennis balls on the back legs of it. Robin is here. Good evening, Robin. So, oh, Jason too, huh? Well, good to see the both of you here. So Sherry is in the chat. She's not about to get on the screen right now, but she is in the chat on her phone with her Nana's Menagerie identification. And we certainly want to thank again everybody that has sent cards, sent well wishes, prayed for, and everything for Sherry. We finally think that as of tonight at 6 o'clock, maybe she's turned the corner. And at this point, it's going to be better. It's the best I can put it. I am still very hopeful that she will be good enough to go to the Kentucky picnic next month. Was it something mid Heartland Homesteaders Heartland Homesteaders picnic? Now that's it's in Kentucky. It's on the west side of Kentucky. I can't think of the name. can't think of the name of the town, but if you look up Heartland Homesteaders or just check out Springfield Ridge, check them out, and they will have the information on that event. I'm very hopeful that Sherry will be up to doing that. Terry City Girl Country Heart, she is allowed liquids as of tonight at 6 o'clock. So she's clear liquids now. You go in, we're going in what, Friday? Is that right? We're going to the doctor's office Friday, and perhaps at that time, Sherry's been through this before. Yes, right now she is restricted on the liquids she can have.
Be clear.
It's clear liquids right now. So just imagine having to, if you would, jumpstart your whole digestive system. For the past 6 weeks, her stomach hasn't worked at all. The bowels have not worked at all. It will be a mix of both for probably a week. It's my guess. It's my guess that maybe one more week on the TPN. What types of liquids? Clear liquids of the non-alcoholic and non-carbonated type, Jason. Yeah. Moonshine, vodka, and white wine are all clear liquids. Yes, they are. But those are not included. Well, I certainly hope so. I know that we were both disappointed that we couldn't make the Life Conference out in Hannibal. This is a first one we've missed. Bandana Grandma. Hello, hello. Good to see you here. Yes, she can have Jell-O, as long as it doesn't have fruits in it. Yes, that means Jell-O, and what's she talking about? Pizzles?
All the cells. Oh my God.
What is that?
Those Italian cookies you said at Christmas?
Oh.
Yes.
Allie? Not yet. Not yet. Bandana, thank you so much. And like I say, I cannot thank everybody in here enough for all the well wishes that have been extended. It means the world to both of us. And I don't know how some of you folks have done this. We have gotten a couple cards in the mail that must have been mailed 6, 7, 8 times to different folks that are in the chat here, that they all signed it and stuck it back in the envelope, sent it to the next person and the next person, and then somebody finally sent it here. So I believe, Jason, here's what we're kind of hoping for. if she's well enough, we're going to go to the meetup, the Heartland Homesteaders Picnic in September in Kentucky. And if she's up to it, I'm thinking we will maybe just come down your way right after that. But I don't know that for sure. Oh, she said first sit down to Florida, then Georgia. I didn't know we were going to do Florida this year since she was here. But how big a camper did you get, B-Lady? Recap what happened. Okay, in a nutshell, Sherry, in April, Sherry went in and had surgery done that went sideways. And they believe that, what's the best way to explain this? Let's try this. Okay. If you look here at this picture that I have right under me here on this thing, 2 years ago, Sherry had this sleeve surgery, and everything was fine. However, what happens with some people with this sleeve surgery is you can develop like an acid reflux type thing. They call it GERD, where the stomach's not happy and the gases kind of keep coming up your throat, and it's just unpleasant. So they between the doctor and Sherry, they decided to go with this type, a gastric bypass. It's called an R&Y revision. Hoping maybe this one says that. Yeah. Roux-en-Y gastric bypass surgery. So it's this one right here is what they had done. And if you notice with this one, the stomach, which is this pouch here, is literally severed. It's this part kind of comes out. The intestine goes into a smaller. They don't cut it completely out. They leave a part, and the intestine is attached to the stomach there. To make it as simple as I can with my understanding, this is kind of like if you were to cut yourself a deep cut that say required stitches. When they put the stitches in, the stitches are not so close together that it seals everything. It's just there to kind of hold the skin together to heal. Well, the same thing happens, it's my understanding again, The same thing happens here when they attach the upper intestine to the remaining stomach pouch. They stitch it up and to try to hold it together. Some of the complications can come from if there's scar tissue in the area, and Sherry has some scar tissue. She had her gallbladder removed. She had a hernia repaired. She also had the sleeve surgery 2 years ago. She also had C-sections for her 3 kids. So she's had work done on her belly. That's the best way I can say it. So there's scar tissue there. Well, scar tissue doesn't heal as quickly or as well as non-scar tissue. So apparently, what we feel happened is there was a leak where the intestine was attached, and because she was at home, and she was starting down the normal road to recover, she was on the liquid diet and was on that long enough that, or the clear liquids, that she could start maybe trying some crackers, some soft food, pureed food. And by the second month, it had just gotten so bad that as soon as she swallowed anything, she'd be throwing up. And of course, as you can imagine, if one throws up, the stresses that puts on your gut down inside, it's just more and more stresses. She went. I could see that she had issues. We had an appointment with the doctor. Doctor wasn't in. The nurse practitioner or whoever the other person is in the office, well, she felt that Sherry's pain and stuff was due to constipation. That her bowels hadn't moved in, so this delayed things. So 2-3 weeks later, it got to the point, and like I say, I had called the doctor's office and continued to call. Don't know the best way to say this, but the doctor never found out that I had called and called and called. It was always blocked off before she found out about it. Anyway, we went into emergency room because the pain was so bad for Sherry that, I mean, she had tears in her eyes. So we went in the emergency room. And, of course, they were very attentive. They give her fluids, intravenous fluids, on her back, and then they give her, that high dose of drugs that kills all pain or whatever. So she obviously that made her feel better. The pain was gone. And so we were there for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6. I think it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. They sent us home. Well, by the end of the following week, this was all over again, only worse. I mean, I could see it just looking at her. It was like, you want to help, and there's nothing you can do that I could do. Back in the emergency room we went. It was very obvious to the folks in the emergency room at this time that she was so dehydrated. They had problems, big problems, even getting a needle in her vein. They did manage to get a needle in. Were putting fluids in. They took blood. They did some tests, and the determination was made that she needed to have a blood transfusion. This is also when they made the decision to try to put a PICC line in, and they couldn't do that. They tried in one arm, they tried in another arm, they tried in her neck. Wasn't that the next day?
They tried my neck, and they tried the arm the next morning. They tried two arms.
So, anyway, that was the blood transfusion thing. The doctor, I got to sit and talk with the doctor, and the doctor says, I don't know what's going on. They did CAT scans, they did all this stuff. CAT scans were not showing anything. So the doctor's plan of attack on this was they did an endoscopy where they put go down the esophagus and into the stomach and so forth and look around. So they did this, and the doctor came in and talked to the both of us, and she said that what she found pretty well shocked her, surprised her, I guess. Everything looked fine until she got past the stomach into where the bowels were attached to the stomach. And she uses metric terms, but I'm going to say about 6 inches below. As she said that the tissue, everything was angry. Everything was inflamed. And the bowels were literally swollen shut. So the first thing I think of is, well, you can just imagine, just think of the end of a hot dog or something where it's squeezed shut. That's what it apparently was. She says nothing's passing. Nothing can get past there. That's why she was throwing up. So the decision was made. She's going to have to go in, and she didn't know what was causing this. She thought that perhaps because of some of the previous surgeries and things that Sherry had, that maybe some organs had shifted and pinched off the upper bowels. She didn't know. So the decision was made that the next day she would go in and I guess you might call it an exploratory, but she was going to go in like she was going to do the surgery again. So she could see what was going on, because she couldn't tell from this scope. So they took her in the operating room. A couple hours later, a nurse came out and talked to me and said, well, she's doing okay. Just wanted to let you know we're having some issues, but she's doing okay. So the doctor will get a hold of you when she's done. Well, it was over 5 hours after that I get a phone call from the doctor saying that wanted to know, am I still at the hospital there? And, yeah, where else would I be? I'm sitting in Sherry's room. I'm in the hospital. And she says, I will be right there to talk with you. And she came in and she said that when she got into Sherry's abdomen, she said it was like a bomb went off. That all the tissues were, she uses the term angry, inflamed. It was like it was full of infection. She worked on her, I might not be saying this right, laparoscopically. That's the little tiny incisions. She worked on her that way for like 2.5 hours, and then decided that that's not going to cut it. So she opened her up. I mean, she just pretty much cut her whole abdomen open, and so she could get in there and work and clean up the inside. They elected at that time to not wake her up that night. So they kept her under the anesthesia all night, just to relax and recover. And of course, she was regulated to bed. She was in ICU for almost a week, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not sure that she knows, because she wasn't aware that they kept her asleep all night. She lost a day. But to say the least, it's she went through. Sherry's been through a lot. From that point forward, though, it's just been a very long, slow process. Again, the same thing. This is the reason that they're doing the CAT scans. As I tried to explain before, where they attach the intestine to the stomach pouch, apparently still had a little leak. And so this is the reason that that Sherry had to bypass any water or anything else going through the intestinal tracts. So that's the reason for the TPN. And about every week she's been going back getting another CAT scan. It was getting smaller and smaller, and I think I told you last week they said, well, let's try the water, and Sherry did it for a couple days, and I don't know if there was still a tiny leak or not, but she had pain, and the doctor said, okay, stop, absolutely stop, and no more, and we'll take another look. If the pain gets too bad, come into the hospital right away. So we didn't have to do that. We waited and just came in today to get another CAT scan. And like I said, the doctor called back 6 o'clock tonight and said, okay, so no sign, everything looks good. Go ahead and start drinking clear liquids. So that, in a nutshell, has been what has happened to Sherry since in April of this year, and has destroyed our entire summer. And she still has a ways to go. She still has a ways to go. I've watched some things going on in the chat here. there's no question that there has been some things that have gone wrong in Sherry's case. But neither one of us believed that it was the doctor's fault. I mean, one can say that that's not the case because the doctor did the surgery. But apparently, it's like I said before, it's not uncommon with a surgery like this where there is a small leak until you... It just takes time to heal. In Sherry's case, because of scar tissue and stuff, it takes longer to heal. Thank you, Mama Z. Appreciate it very much. We certainly do thank you. It'll just go in the gas tank. So, Johnson Family Farmstead, thank you so much. Appreciate you very much. Well, okay. This summer of 2021 is pretty well gone, Rhonda, and that's all I meant. That's all I meant was the fact. I mean, we're both getting up there in age, and every day is precious. At least I certainly think so. But I was going to go through the same thing because I need to lose weight. And of course, all that planning for me has been put on hold. And Lone Star Living, hello. Getting started on homesteading. Sherry got good word tonight. The doctor called the house at 6 o'clock tonight that said she can start with clear liquids. So if anybody has any more questions, please put them out there. My own personal opinion, where the breakdown was in the doctor's office, not with the doctor. Maybe me being too nice, because I would call the doctor's office and I relied on the fact that I thought that the party answering the phone would pass things on to the doctor, and that apparently never happened. For over a month. We were continually told, well, she's constipated. So go do these stool softeners and go do these enemas and all this crazy stuff. So Jujubi, I understand kind of what you're saying. I do. And yes, the doctors are responsible for their office staff. I can tell you this. She was not happy when she found out. She was not happy at all when she found out that, because she had no idea. She had no idea. Well, that's, hindsight's always 20/20, but you want to believe the doctor's office. When you call the doctor's office, a lot of people, myself included, just considered the person on the other end of the phone to be, very close to the doctor. And I mean, I understand the doctor's got many, many patients, has a lot of people to take care of. She's a very good surgeon. She does surgery, 3 days a week? Is it? 2 days a week? But it's an all-day thing for surgery, and I don't want to say that they just rush people through there, but she does a lot of this stuff. And once she found out that she didn't get the message, she was livid. She was livid. So I don't even know if the whole staff is still there. I just don't know. Well, Jason, I don't know. I don't know. It's obviously something that we need to discuss. But anyway, I think what we're going to do here is, I've been on here just over an hour now, because we started at 9:15 and it's now 10:16. So I want to thank every one of you for being here tonight. Special thank you to all of our moderators. We love you all. Everybody, all your good thoughts that you've shared with us. Those that have made the tip jars jingle a little bit with your super chats and stuff. We very much appreciate it. Sarah, you have anything you want to say? So with that, I think what we're going to do here, as soon as I find the right screen, I want to say goodnight to everybody. Thanks again to the moderators. Thanks to everybody that's here. If you have any other questions, just send an email to familyhomestead@gmail.com. Don't forget, if you want to get some mugs or shirts or anything like that, hey, we can do that. So, take care, everybody. You all have a wonderful night, and we're going to try again next week. We're going to see if she's feeling good enough to be on the screen here next week. So, everybody take care. We will see you all later. Good night.